go right now. Welcome back to game number 2 of this Friday doubleheader between the Columbians, who took game 1 4-2, and your Taft Tigers. Trent Fisher led the top of the first off with a single across the outstretched hands of Joey Tripp. And Eli DeMello would pop up in shallow right center field to Kenny Tripp, who made a great play from second base. And Cody Knott just swung out there for the second out of the inning. So it is Ty Fisher at the plate with cousin Trenton at first base. Tigers were one hit in the first game by Logan Kaiser. And it falls on the arms, or the left arm of sophomore Braden Markham, who misses inside to Ty here in game number 2, as outside corner hits for strike 1, as our umpires have switched their field and plate duties here in the second one. So Trenton at first, curveball misses outside. So 2-1 to Ty. It'll be Blaze Kimbrough on the mound. Very similar lineup defensively for each team. Preston Setzer is the catcher with Austin Cantrell at first base. Ty swings at strike 2 with Kenny Tripp at second base, Jordan Kangas at third, Joey Tripp, the senior brother, at shortstop with Jaden Robb in left field, Hunter Bolch in center, and this time Logan Kaiser in right field. Ty swings. This one gets all the way to the backstop, so it's going to be a strikeout, but it won't be an out recorded, so there's still 2 down as Ty hustles down to first base. Trenton gets down to second on the dropped strikeout, so Blaze Kimbrough comes to the plate now for the first time here in the top of the first, as the Tigers try and this is the rubber match now. Taft won 7-2 at home. Rainier won the second game 4-2 as Blaze takes a strike. It's going to be 2 lefties today. The sophomore Markham on the hill versus the senior at the plate. Blaze throws left, bats right, with Darius Smith on deck. Curveball gets him swinging outside. 0-2 count. Markham looking good early after Logan Kaiser was the star of the show in game 1. Tigers just unable to touch him up. It was a drag bunt from Eli, the only one. Curveball misses outside. Ball 1. So Trenton got a good start, but right now he's stuck at second, trying to get a little bit further with Ty at first base. Here's the pitch, and swung and hit foul by Blaze. Over along the third base side where the Rainier dugout is. Tigers coach Hilgers in his second season along the third base side. Tigers assistant coach Nelson in the first base box as assistant coach King unable to make the trip today. Markham from the stretch, this one in on the wrist, and it's popped up. A little easy play for Austin Cantrell to make at first base. So Tigers, they get 1 hit. They leave 2 on the bases as they're unable to score any in the top of the first. It'll be Rainier's turn when we go bottom second, back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH. It's the bottom of the first inning where the Tigers are able to get the leadoff man, but we're unable to do anything past that. As a little bit of technical difficulties as we work that out here for you at Rainier High School. This is Peter Boom Field. As good campus here out just off the Columbia River, as we've got swirling winds today for this one. Little clouds in the sky. As not warmed up just yet, as several players wearing the long sleeves here as the wind keeps it cool. It'll be the shortstop Joey Tripp leading off against Blaze Kimbrough on the mound. Plays with great numbers on the season. As that pitch misses outside for a ball to Tripp. As Blaze with a 1.33 ERA on the season. He's gone 31. A problem for my video broadcast of this game. That pitch misses for, well, Tripp misses it, I should say, for strike one. So Blaze, that one, unable to hit the corner for a 2-1 count as Caden Heimer behind the plate. He's done a fantastic job this season, but that time unable to frame the pitch. Two lefties today. We'll see how that gets called in game number 2. That one's fouled back by Tripp. 2-2 count now to the leadoff man. As he came around to score in game number 1 of 4 runs to come across. So Tigers, they didn't give up a lot, but they were just held in check by Kaiser with only 1 hit, 3 walks. This one hit high into right field for Trenton Fisher. One of the easier plays that he's made today as he comes down with the catch, bringing up the freshman second baseman, Kenny Tripp, to the plate now. As he made a great play back in the top of the first inning. Eli had a pop-up, and we mentioned the swirling wind. That's not the kind of pop-up that infielders want to see. Blaze to Kenny, gets him swinging strike one to start off first at-bat. On deck is the third baseman Jordan Kangas, then the first baseman Austin Cantrell, left fielder Jaden Robb, right fielder Logan Kaiser, and then I'm not sure where the DH is in Coach Karn's lineup. Tripp throws the hands at it, gets a piece of it, but pops it up for Fico, who makes the catch precisely on top of first base on the pop-up 3 for 2 down. And that will bring up the third baseman, Jordan Kangas, who had the first hit of the game in the first one. Back in the first inning, it was a Texas leaguer in shallow right center field. And then he would come around to score on a catching error. First pitch from Blaze is high for a ball. On the season, Blaze has 33 strikeouts. Eli has 36 to lead the team. 41 innings of work. As that pitch misses outside for ball 2 for Blaze. Offensively, it's Fico at first base, Ethan Thomas at second, Eli DeMello goes to third base. Game 2 with Cody at shortstop. And again, misses outside, high and away for Blaze. Darius in left field, Ty in center field, and Trenton Fisher in right. The 3-0 from Blaze, fastball. And marks him up on the outside corner, strike one. So on deck, Austin Cantrell. He had a big solo shot back in the bottom of the 5th in game 1. And that pitch misses low. First walk by Blaze. Gets a runner on. It's Jordan Kangas. And I mentioned that about Cantrell because nobody was on the bases when he hit that shot. Now he's got Kangas at first as Big Senior steps in. As he was the player of the year last year in the Lewis and Clark League. Tigers beat him in game 1. Kaiser got the win game 2. Cantrell starts off with a big cut, strike 1 to Blaze. As he's going to ask for a new baseball. So Caden, you're supposed to throw that back to your dugout. Don't even give the umpire a chance as he hands it to him. And the umpire tosses it back. Hands him a fresh one. Steps back in. 0-1 count, bottom 1. As Kangas takes off, Caden throws to the bag, and Cody unable to make the catch as the throw was... It's a two-part play there from the catcher to either the second baseman or in this case the shortstop, Cody Knott. So a stolen base for Jordan Kangas as Coach Carnes puts it in motion here with 2 outs, trying to get a runner in scoring position. Cantrell, check swing, doesn't go, and it's in the dirt, and this allows Kangas now to get to third on a wild pitch as Caden went to the ground there to block, and it popped up and went to the right. So Cantrell now with a 1-2 count at the plate. Runner at third. And pitch inside, ball 2. And on deck is left fielder Jaden Robb. But Cantrell's the man for Kimbrough to get right here in this situation. And he fouls that one off. 2-2 remaining with 2 down, bottom 1. A runner at third and Jordan Kangas. So each team here in the first inning getting runners on and getting them into scoring position. As Cantrell hits this one high, can he make it 2 games? No, Darius is going to come forward, and he makes the catch this time on the towering high fly ball. It didn't come off the bat the same way it did. He got more underneath that one as it goes F7. No hits, 1 left on base. We go top 2 back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back here in the top of the second inning as it is Braden Markham on the mound, throwing to Darius Smith as he starts off. First pitch swinging high for Jaden Robb, who's coming in and he's unable to make the catch. Similar play for Darius back in the first game that scored Jordan Kangas. And the first inning, that ball gets up in the air. It starts swirling around and unable for an outfielder to put a glove on it. So Darius is third base runner of the game here for the Tigers. It took him a while last time to get on base against Kaiser. As Fico shows bunt, pulls it back, the ball is called. Caden Heineman on deck, and then Ethan Thomas before we get back to the top of the lineup with Trenton Fisher. So Fico again squares up to bunt. This time drops it down, but it's foul along the first base side. As Cantrell stayed planted there at first base, and defensively, the way the Columbians work, Kenny Tripp at second covered the bag at second. Joey Tripp, the shortstop, goes to third. And Jordan Kangas, the third baseman, is the one charging in on the play. That's how Coach Carnes is playing this. The 1-1, curveball is in looking for a strike from the left-hander Markham. So it's a 1-2 count now for Fico. This is thrown from the stretch with Darius at first so we can look at him. Here's the throw to the plate. It's high, and Fico goes after it for the third strikeout of the game for Markham. And it's the first out of the inning. We'll bring up Caden Heineman, the catcher. As
Caden, hitting .273 on the season, coming into first game. Nice check throw to first as Darius on the bag. Cantrell takes the tag, not in time, throws it back. So top second, one down for the Tigers. 0-0 ball game, trying to take the series and split the doubleheader today. That pitch misses low and away to Caden, ball one. Coach Hilgers out along the third base side, calls out the play with the runner on first. Darius takes his lead. Here's the throw from Markham, fouled out of play by Caden. That one hit the Tiger bus. It hit a car, that's what I can hear. As we got the swirling wind, that's the best way to describe it today. Just trying to wreak havoc on the electronics. Curveball from Markham rings them up, strike two. So another 1-2 count. Markham with an effective breaking pitch, just a sophomore. And he tries it again. This one's hit into right center field. It's playable as Bolch comes forward, makes the catch for out number two. The outfield doing some work here, or trying to do some work, as Bolch makes the catch this time for Ethan Thomas, the second baseman, who comes to the plate now. Markham continues to throw from the stretch, looking at Darius at first. Fastball outside corner, strike one. As Tiger dugout tries to cheer on their teammate, create a two-out rally here. As this one inside on the wrist, Joey Tripp collects, throws to Cantrell in time for the 6-3 ground out. So the Tigers, they get a man on base, but he stays there. So we go bottom two, back in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Back here on AM 1400 KBCH in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be left fielder Jaden Robb, the 5-6-7 batters for the Columbians here. 0-0 ball game in game number two. As Taft on the season has a 9-8 record now, or 9-9 record overall, 5-3 in league. Rainier 8-5 overall, 3-3 in league. Rainier came in ranked number 7 in the state. Taft ranked number 9. Warrenton ranked 6th. They're taking on number 28, Willamina, and then the other doubleheader, number 20, Clatskanie, is at number 21, Catlin Gable. So Robb, the lefty, the only lefty in the lineup for either team, takes the ball to the Tigers' lone lefty on the hill, Blaze Kimbrough. Blaze trying to get the Tigers the 6th win of the league season. He's got Robb swinging at the high heat for strike number one. Kaiser on deck, and then we'll figure out how the rest of the batting lineup's supposed to go. As curveball misses high, Hayden had to come out of his stance on that one. So wind cool right now. Been kind of throughout swirling. That's what the forecast said. Occasional gusts, low 20s. Kaiser goes and grabs it. A 2-2 count at the plate for Jaden Robb, leading off the bottom of the second inning. Blaze fastball hit to Ethan Thomas at second, makes the snag. There's the toss for the out. 4-3 ground out by Jaden Robb for the first out. We'll bring up Logan Kaiser now. And then it will be Tyler Nelson, the designated hitter. The question is who is he hitting for? Kaiser is the man at the plate right now. That's the more important spot. As he looks at a pitch low from Blaze for ball one. It's a 1-0 count with one down. Blaze comes back, and this is high. That's Coach Hilgers. Signals out the call to Caden behind the plate with Fico at first, Ethan at second, who just made the ground ball out, Eli at third, and Cody at short. That pitch inside, now a 3-0 count for Logan Kaiser. He's had one walk in the first. Jordan Kangas got as far as third. A stolen base to second, wild pitch to third. That pitch is a 4-pitch walk. So second walk allowed by Blaze. That's been an area he's been very strong this season. As he came into the day with 8, he now has 10. So very un-Blaze-like. So it'll be Tyler Nelson now with one on and one down. First pitch looked good. But they said it was high to Tyler Nelson. That's the signal. But Cody Knott at shortstop, even he thought that was a strike. As Nelson wants time in the batter's box. There's the 1-0 from Blaze, and fouled back. So 1-1 count. As Fico tries to hold Kaiser on at first base. As a result, there is a gap there between first and Thomas covering the field around second. And that pitch is inside for ball two. Good block by Caden behind the plate. Up on deck will be Hunter Bolch, leaving either Markham or Preston Setzer, for whom Tyler Nelson is batting for. Throw to first base, tag applied on Kaiser, he is safe. As Setzer was hit for last game, perhaps he'll hit for himself the second game. But 2-1 count for Tyler Nelson with one down, hits it in between Cody and Eli. Tyler Nelson's second hit of the day. His first was an RBI single. This time it's just a regular single. It's put 2 on with 1 down. First hit of the game, and it brings up center fielder Hunter Bolch with the catcher Preston Setzer on deck. So it is the pitcher Braden Markham, for whom Tyler Nelson had just hit. And this one's hit to Darius hard, line shot. As says he didn't make the catch, so the tag at third is possible, but it gets by Eli. Eli had to come off the bag for that, even though the throw wasn't on line. So it's the second dropped fly ball of the day by Darius. It's the second in this game by the left fielder, and now the bases are loaded. As Darius, they say, didn't hold on to it long enough. And Coach Hilgers isn't complaining to try and argue that he lost it on the transfer to a throw. As the Tigers were unable to get the throw to third, Darius, the throw was offline. Eli but stood at the bag. He needed to come off and see if he could perhaps pick it and then tag Kaiser.
So it'll be the number 9 hitter, Preston Setzer, now at the plate, hitting for himself. As he's got the bases full, bottom of the second with 1 out, a 1-0 count at the plate. As Columbians try and get on top again here in game number 2. And that one just misses high and away. As Blaze has not been getting any calls behind the plate so far. A 2-0 count to Setzer. And again, they say it's high. A 3-0 count as Blaze steps off. Preston Setzer has a miniature strike zone at the plate, apparently. As now they call the strike. As Blaze has put 3 in a row in that same spot, practically. There's the first strike called. 3-1 count, bases full for the catcher, Preston Setzer. Blaze from the stretch, pitch inside. It's an RBI walk. So 1-0 game after another error brings in a run, and Coach Hilgers is going to come out and have a word perhaps with Blaze for a moment as Joey Tripp, top of the lineup, comes to the plate with a 1-0 lead, 1 out, bases full, and that's what Coach Hilgers is doing, is speaking with his catcher and pitcher here. As no substitution expected at this point, just a 1-0 game, but it is the point of the game where Columbians trying to get on top early and take all the momentum away, take all the momentum they had from the first game and keep it on into the second one. As Taft, well, there's still a lot of game left for the Tigers. It's just a 1-run game right here for Blaze with Tripp, who first pitch swinging, pops it up out of play, foul. But the Columbians, it's been a great week of baseball for them. They've had 4 games, a game Tuesday, a game Wednesday, 2 games today. They're 3-0 so far. Tigers, they're 1-1 this week, looking to go 2-1 as Blaze gets the curveball in. 0-2 count to Tripp. And for Blaze to get one at the plate himself right now would be a big help with the bases full. Wind's coming across the field from third base across first base, but it tends to swirl in the air. That pitch is high and inside. Ball 1 to the senior shortstop. Blaze from the stretch, the southpaw, thrown to the righty. And he swings at it. That looked like it was outside the zone, but Tripp, perhaps wanting to protect, fouls that one back. So Kenny goes, scoops it up. We'll try it once more. 1-2 count in the bottom of the second with 1 down. And the curveball misses low. 2-2 count for Blaze now, who's thrown 3 walks today. As we said, he only had 8 coming into the day. Had 1 in the first, 2 here in the second. Looking for a strikeout. This one hit back to Blaze. He looked to go to first, and then he remembered it's a force out at home. But as a result of it, the Tigers, because of the delay, unable to go home and then try and get Tripp at first. So he is on a fielder's choice. 1-2 ground out. There's now 2 down in the inning. So Braden Markham out at the plate. Everybody else moves up. So Hunter Bolch is at third. Preston Setzer's at second for Kenny Tripp, who pops this one up and foul. Still a 1-0 game here in the bottom of the second with the bases full, but there's now 2 outs following the fielder's choice ground out by Joey Tripp, who got on at first. And Tripp again fouls this one back. He's on top of it. So 0-2 though. Let's see if Blaze here comes back with a curveball. 2 from Blaze. Curveball inside, misses low. So we got Joey Tripp to hit the soft little tapper back up the middle that was playable. Hopefully, though, being unable to turn 2 won't hurt the Tigers. Here's the 1-2 to Kenny Tripp. Hits this one hard and foul down the third base line. We'll do it again, a 1-2 count at the plate. As the sun is out, but it's not necessarily a warm day here at Rainier. Not thanks to that wind chill factor. 1-2 from Kimbrough. And he gets him swinging for the final out of the inning. For the Tigers, a very big strikeout for Blaze as it holds the Columbians to just 1 run. It was unearned, but it's a run nonetheless off 1 hit. The Columbians leave 3 on the bases. We go to the top of the third. Tigers trail the Columbians by 1 back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH, where we're here in the top of the third inning. Sophomore Braden Markham's looked good on the hill so far for the Columbians, as he's got 3 strikeouts, only 1 hit over the first 2 innings. Tigers have gotten 3 runners on base, unable to bring anybody past second, though. That was Trenton Fisher, though, who got on with a single in his first at-bat, and he was able to get over to second base on a dropped strike 3. As Ty ran down to first, Trenton ran down to second. That's the furthest Tiger base runner here in game number 2. So Trenton will seek to get back on again with Eli on deck. It's top of the lineup. 1, 2, 3, Cody Knott, then Ty, Blaze, Darius, Fico, Caden, and Ethan. So Markham, the sophomore, throwing to Preston Setzer behind the plate, the senior, with senior Austin Cantrell at first, freshman Kenny Tripp at second base, Jordan Kangas over junior at third base, and senior Joey Tripp at shortstop, with Jaden Robb in left, Hunter Bolch in center, and Logan Kaiser in right field. First pitch gets away from Markham. That's outside all the way to the cage for ball 1 to Trenton, as Eli goes and scoops that one up. So Markham throwing from the windup with nobody on here, top 3. That pitch low in the dirt as Setzer makes the snag. 2-0 count for Trenton. As Trenton leads the team in free passes, had unable to get any free passes, I want to say, back in that first game. I know it was 2 to Fico of the 3 issued. And again, pitch low and in the dirt for Markham. As first game, low scoring affair, 4-2. First game, Tigers, they got up to a 7-0 lead at home before Columbians scored 2 late. First pitch thrown to Trenton. The Columbians got 4 runs today before the Tigers scored 2 runs late. Similar. This is the rubber match, and that's a 5-pitch walk from Markham that puts Trenton on base, and in steps Eli DeMello, as Eli's dad's down there taking pictures. Want to take pictures of some Tigers crossing the plate, though, as Eli looks to Coach Hilgers for the call with a runner at first here, top 3 and nobody down. Eli, honorable mention All-State catcher last season, has hit over 400 on the year, as he shows bunt that time, pulls it back for a ball on the inside corner. As Eli, he had the only hit against Kaiser, as he dropped a bunt down and it stayed in fair territory. He's got the speed to do that, looks to do it again, and this time gets through for a strike. And I think it might have been a foul tip into the glove because of the reaction of the plate ump there. So 1-1 count now for DeMello with Trenton at first, Cantrell at first, playing on the bag. A big gap there for Eli if he hits it that way. He goes to third to Kangas. One hopper throws to Kenny Tripp. Gares the force at second. The relay throw is not in time on the fielder's choice. 5-4-3. So Trenton out at second. Eli over at first base now for Cody Knott at the plate. As Eli and Cody both looking to uncork one here. Well, everyone struggled there in that first game, as Kaiser was the story of the show. Tigers hope their bats can be the story here in game number 2 as Eli dives back to first base on the check throw by Markham to Cantrell. Ty Fisher on deck. Now, top third. As Cody underneath this one hits it high to Hunter Bolch. Comes all the way in from center field and makes the grab. As Cantrell and Knott have both gotten underneath of them where they hit the ball about as high as it needed to go to get out of the field. It just went up, straight up. So Ty Fisher comes to the plate. He had the home run swing on senior night, the grand slam in his second at bat in the first inning. It's not necessarily what the Tigers need right now, as I have a low line drive in left field. Curveball from Markham misses high. So 2 outs as Eli was caught stealing back in the first game, although on the play it allowed Ethan Thomas to steal third base. They had runners on the corners. They're going to try and pick Eli off here as he got back quickly. It was a great throw from Setzer, a good tag by Cantrell, but Eli was able to be just a quick half step ahead on the play. It's a 2-0 count for Ty as they're going to check throw as Markham, the left-hander, even wind up, just kind of threw that one back. As, again, I think it is a 2-0 count at the plate for Ty as that last throw I thought was low and away. Eli fakes the steal. It's again outside. He throws down to first. No tag applied by Cantrell this time, so it's a 3-0 count at the plate. We'll find out here if something ends up in the dirt, and Eli walks to second. That one's in the dirt, and that's what Ty does, is he heads on down to first. Eli walks on down to second. So another walk allowed. Second of the inning for Markham, and that is the second of the game. Coach Carnes come out, have a quick talk with his pitcher, as Blaze Kimbrough now at the plate for the Tigers. Blaze does a good job of getting a bat on the ball with 2 outs right now, though. Tigers aren't trying to get something in play. They don't need a sacrifice. They need a single. Good speed on the base pass. Mentioned Ty was second-team All-State wide receiver, is also honorable mention punter. Very proud of that. I'm very proud of it. I tabulated all those stats for him. Thanks, Coach Tolan on Huddle. Of course, honorable mention basketball player Eli had a chance to make that honorable mention list for basketball, but he only played the final league basketball game of the season. Blaze is just a baseball pitcher. That's what he loves to do. Right now he's at the plate. He'd love to help his cause out. He swings at strike one to Markham. As with 2 outs, the Tigers base runners know that they're going on anything hit. So if something can touch the grass in the outfield, Eli should score, perhaps Ty. This one is up in the air, and Logan Kaiser comes running forward, stops, makes the grab in the outfield for the final out. The Tigers, they get 2 walks in the no hits. They leave 2 on the base pass through 3 innings. They've stranded 5 runners. We go bottom 3, where Rainier leads the Tigers 1-0 on your Tigers Radio Network. Back in 60. Bottom of the third inning, Blaze Kimbrough on the mound throwing to Caden Heinman behind the plate. Fico Ramos at first, Ethan Thomas at second. Eli DeMello is at third base with Cody Knott at shortstop, left fielder Darius Smith, center fielder Ty Fisher, and right fielder Trenton Fisher. And it'll be Jordan Kangas, the third baseman, at the plate for the second time today. He drew a walk, had a stolen base, and advanced to third on a wild pitch, as that pitch is low for ball one from Blaze. He's got 34 strikeouts on the season and 33 and 2/3 work. As it looks at strike one on the outside part of the plate. As Blaze had trouble getting that call last inning, gets it there against Kangas looking. There's the 1-3. That one is low on the outside for 2-1 count now. So, Tigers scoreless so far through their first 3 innings. Rainier scoreless in the first. They got 1 in the second. They stranded 3 as that one just missed, apparently inside a little bit. So a 3-1 count for Blaze Kimbrough, who's not had the control today. This one hit hard back up to center field as Ty Fisher gets on his wheels, and it's over his head. That's a hard shot by Kangas as Ty lays out. Here's the throw in from Trenton. As that one just stayed in the air and kept moving. It's the first extra base hit of this game, as the Columbians have both of them. As Kangas, he has the second. Cantrell, the man at the plate, has the other. And for Cantrell, it was a moonshot. So no outs here, bottom third. Runner in scoring position is Kangas with Austin Cantrell at the plate here. As flew out to Darius to end the first inning as he looks at strike one from Blaze. 0-1 count to the senior. As mentioned, he was the Lewis and Clark Player of the Year last year. First team All-State selection. That pitch is outside on the curve. As the Tigers last year, they had 2 great ones to throw, and first team All-State pitcher Jack Stemple. Caleb King, whether he called him a pitcher or outfield, I don't think it made a difference. He was a 3-time first team All-State selection. Curveball, Cantrell gets a piece of it, fouls it out of play. 1-2 count at the plate. It's 2 talented squads, as we said. Top 10 teams once again showing down as this is the rubber match. Tigers got the first one at home. Columbians got the first one here today, as this represents the 3rd game between these 2 teams. And it also represents the first win by Rainier in the last 3 years against Taft. Curveball. Caden tried framing it, but he wouldn't give it to him. Cantrell's the biggest player. He got a tiny strike zone that time. So a 2-2 count for Blaze, who, if he was on Wheel of Fortune, if he tried to buy an E, they'd tell him no, as Cantrell now takes this one hard in the same spot that Kangas did, as Ty and Trenton are there, and they don't call for it, and it hits the dirt. As Kangas now at 2, and then comes 3 and home. Cantrell goes out to 2, and the Tigers, someone didn't talk out there, and Austin Cantrell makes this a 2-0 game, scoring Jordan Kangas from second, as it's the 3rd hard hit ball of the day by the Columbians, and it's the 2nd one by Cantrell, as the field ump was out there, not sure what he was talking about. Maybe, I think, making sure that the Tigers players are okay, as they're down 2-0 here to Rainier, bottom third, as they know it's going to be all road games for here on out for Taft. They got no favors when the schedule came out, and that time, hey, they give him the curveball. Blaze, his strike zone today, where he's been able to hit, has been all over the place here. That time to Rob, he gets it on the outside corner, comes back, gets Rob swinging, and he's now down 0-2. So Rob steps out, and he'll come back in now. Try it again, 0-2 count. He had a 4-3 ground out to Ethan Thomas, who's playing at second with Cantrell there, and he gets him swinging on 3 pitches. One out here for Rainier in the bottom of the third brings up right fielder Logan Kaiser. So 2-0 lead for Rainier, and Taft, their bats have been awfully quiet today. They're going to need to get through this inning quickly and come top four and heat things up. The sunshine isn't doing their bats any favors. They're going to have to do it themselves. In the dirt, Cantrell's going to try and take third, and Caden's right there to make the throw. Eli makes the tag as Austin Cantrell caught stealing on the base pass, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning for Logan Kaiser, who's got a 1-0 count at the plate. As Caden, he's got a great arm behind the plate for a freshman. That pitch is inside for ball 2. As Kangas did have a stolen base on him in the bottom of the first, but it was a play where the throw was on line. Cody just unable to make the catch and apply the tag as he looks at a fastball for strike 1. 2-1 count now for Kaiser. He was the star of the show in game 1 on the hill with 7 innings pitched, only 1 hit. To give up 2 runs as this one hit hard and foul as Coach Carnes unable to make the catch. Eli grabs it in foul territory and reused the same baseball. So 2-2 count for Kaiser. As the Columbians now are right back in the thick of it in league play. As this one popped up, it's going to get out of play. Foul as that one's top of the baseball building here is Tanner Chapman's little brother. Still getting the nerves when that one hits. I guess we're used to it. We got a beautiful facility at Lincoln Cities, and they hit all the time. You know, I parked up by the school. I'm not wasting a perfectly good car window on a high school baseball. That pitch misses inside, 2-2, or 3-2. As this one hit hard to Eli, goes low to make the grab in the dirt. A quick throw to Fico in time in first base for a 5-3 ground out to end the inning, but not before the Columbians get 2 hits. They get 1 run, and they now lead the Tigers going top 4, 2-0, back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. We're back here on AM 1400 KBCH, and it is Darius Smith at the plate for Taft. As Darius, he's had a tough day out in left field in each game, unable to make a crucial catch that led to first run of the game here as he starts off with pitch outside for a ball. He reached in his first appearance in this game number 2 on a similar situation from the left fielder Jaden Robb. He sends this one to center fielder Hunter Bolch. Will it get down? Bolch gets there. No. He makes the catch, F8 in center field. Tigers, they just have 1 hit again so far as Braden Markham, the sophomore left-hander, has been solid on the hill today. As Taft, I know they have baseball bats with them, but you might say that they metaphorically left the bats in Lincoln City the way this one has gone on so far. Fico fouls that one into the cage as Caden goes back to grab it. As Taft, a young team, a young mixture, really, as you've got some upperclassmen. You've also got a lot of young players that you're relying on when you thought you were going to have another junior and senior to add to the mix, but For Taft, sometimes they're their own worst enemy, which is to say nothing of the performance put on by Kaiser and Markham. This one's hit foul out of play, but sometimes body language says a lot, too, as Columbians playing at home have all the energy. A 1-2 count for Fico, as Tigers need to create their own energy here on the road, as they're going to have to learn to win on the road. Fico goes down swinging low, and for Markham, that's now the 4th strikeout of the game. 2 down for the Tigers and catcher Caden Heineman. As Tigers, when they score runs, they tend to win. When they don't score, they don't win. Very peculiar how that plays out. And Caden goes back up the middle. It gets by 2 gloves, the pitcher, the shortstop, but it doesn't get by Kenny Tripp. Fortunately for Kenny Tripp, Caden Heineman's down at first base as a result of the play. So Ethan Thomas, the 9 batter, will come to the plate now with 2 down, and the second hit of the game by the freshman catcher, Caden Heineman. Trenton Fisher had the first. He's on deck right now, as we'll have a courtesy runner. I believe that is Trenton Hall, who's at first base right now with Ethan Thomas at the plate. Pitch inside for strike 1. So 2 down for Ethan, as Trenton takes his lead at first. That pitch is low and away for ball 1. Markham thrown from the stretch, the left-hander. That's a look at the junior, Trenton Hall. Markham goes to the plate, swung on, strike 2. So Ethan Thomas trying to get things back to the top of the lineup for Trenton Fisher, who's on deck. A 1-2, Ethan looks at a low pitch, ball 2. As Hunter Bulge shaded over from center field towards left a bit. Check swing inside, ball 3. Full count for Ethan. On the season, Ethan's got 6 free passes, 4 via walk, 2 from getting hit. There's the full count from the sophomore Markham. It's outside as Trenton Hall takes off. More for the theatrical effect to try and get Markham at the plate. Pitch misses, and it is another walk. So Trenton Hall's at second. Ethan Thomas is at first base for the right fielder, Trenton Fisher. He's 1 for 2 today, or 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. First pitch swinging foul out of play along the first base dugout. 0-1 count. For Tigers, this would be a good spot to start a 2-out rally here with the top of the lineup. And after the bottom of the lineup, brought it back to you. Curveball hit to Joey Tripp at shortstop. He makes the play and throws to second base to Kenny Tripp for the fielder's choice, 6-4 ground out. The Tigers, they get 1 hit. They leave 2 on the base pass. They've now stranded a total of 7 runners through 4 innings today. We go bottom 4. It's Rainier 2, Taft 0, back in 60.
Welcome back on AM 1400
KBCH, where we're bottom four with Tigers trailing the Columbians 2-0 as Blaze Kimbrough starts with the pitch outside to the designated hitter, Tyler Nelson, hitting for the pitcher, Braden Markham. As Tyler hits this one to Eli, comes to his left, makes the scoop. There's the throw to Fico. Puts on a little bit of a stretch to make the grab for out number one. So Nelson 1 for 2 today. He's got a single in each game so far. Center fielder Hunter Bulch will now come to the plate. As Hunter made a good play in center field. He reached via error in his first at-bat and was stranded at third base. Curveball, did it plunk him? No, it's just low and gets away at the plate, ball one. Blaze looking in the fourth inning now. It's going to be less about how many pitches Blaze can throw here and more about if the Tigers can score some runs. They're down 2-0. So that pitch misses. Check swing. No call. So 3-0 count now to Hunter Bulch. As Blaze, as we said, just been unable to hit the right strike zone as he's looking for strike one that time. So 3-1 as we start to feel the wind come back up here with some gusts. This one hit again to third to Eli. Again, he makes the grab and another throw to Fico. So back-to-back 5-3 ground outs to Eli DeMello over at the hot corner. We'll bring up the number 9 batter, Preston Setzer. One of the reasons why Eli's over there at third with Fico at first base with Blaze on the mound. Coach Hilgers wants to make sure his defense is stout up the middle or in the infield, I should say. As Setzer, he starts off swinging. Fouled back, strike one for the left-hander. I believe Setzer, he definitely throws right, so he's a bats left, throws right. Blaze at the plate, throws left, bats right, and that curveball misses. And again, just misses. So Blaze will try it again, a 1-1 count. Comes back, that one is low, 2-1 count. On deck is the leadoff man, Joey Tripp, who's 0 for 2 today in game 2. This one fouled back. 2-2 count. Setzer, though, right on top of it as he fouls that one straight back. Joey Tripp picks that one up. And we'll try it again here now for Blaze. 2 down. Bottom of the fourth. Game 2 of the doubleheader. This is the rubber match on the season as Caden frames it. Not sure where that one missed. 3-2 count. As Blaze has had quite a few of those. Plate ump just doesn't want to call that third strike. This one hit foul and out of play along the first base side. Blaze with 2 strikeouts as came in with 33 through 31. It's kind of inverse of where he's normally at. As this one hit hard and foul out of play along the right field foul line. And where I'm parked, no danger of a foul ball. That'd be like a home run of foul balls. Here's the 2-2 from Blaze, and there's the strikeout for Setzer. Third of the game for Blaze as we go top 5 now. Tigers, they trail the Columbians 2-0 back in 60 seconds on the Tigers Radio Network.
Welcome back to the fifth inning where Preston Setzer, the last man at the plate, because he's the catcher, he's got to go put on all the equipment. So Braden Markham getting his warm-up throws in for the Tigers. Trenton Fisher is warming up in the bullpen, going to Trenton Hall right now, as Trenton was the last man up, as just trying to stay loose is what Trenton's doing right now. He did pitch an inning in the sixth in the first game, as he did his work, 3 up, 3 down. For Braden Markham, he's trying to get the Tigers to go 3 up, 3 down. For Tigers leadoff man Eli DeMello, he's looking to get the Tigers start a run here, as Eli has a pop out to Kenny Tripp and a fielder's choice. So here's first pitch from Markham. And Markham throws it, gets call, strike one. So the lefty on the hill, the sophomore versus the junior righty. Curveball misses outside, ball one. It's a 1-1 count for DeMello, as he and Cody each came in hitting .400 on the season today, as both of them are looking for their first hits. Second pitch misses outside, ball two. As Eli hits this one, hard catch by Jordan Kangas. He makes it. The throw in time. A great play by Jordan Kangas, who extended as he went in the grass to make that diving catch. Popped up quickly, and he threw to first to Cantrell to rob a base hit from Eli DeMello. Bring up Cody Knott now. As Tigers, they've got 2 hits so far in game number 2. They've stranded 7 base runners. As Cody starts with the ball, on deck is Ty Fisher. As for Taft, it's going to have to be a team effort. Not one player is going to do this for them at this point to get right back into it. Called curveball from Markham outside corner to Cody, who's got a strikeout today and a fly out to center field against Markham. Pitch outside, ball two. For Rainier, they're trying to go 4-0 this week. If they do, they'll go to 5-2 in league. This one hit to Kenny Tripp, who takes a step forward, makes the catch on the line shot. L4, 2 down for Taft, as Ty Fisher now comes to the plate to try and start a 2-out rally for the Tigers here in the top of the 5th, who are now down to their final 7 outs. Just a 2-0 game. It's a close one. Taft need to show that they're hitters. And there's a good hit into the left center field gap by Tai, as it gets by Rob, but Tai, he tried to round first, and he stays there at first. Third hit of the game for Taft. And for Tai Fisher, much needed hit right there. Blaze Kimbrough will come to the plate now with 2 down. And for the Tigers, it's going to take several hits. As 2 hits, you can't expect guys to score from sacrifices at this point. That pitch is low from Markham, ball 1. For Blaze, he does represent the tying run. Beating it just a 2-0 game. Pitch inside, ball 2. So here in the top of the 5th, we'll see how far Braden Markham is able to go here. A pitch low, hit, playable by Cantrell, who scoops it along the first base side, turns, makes a few steps towards the bag for the final out. 3 unassisted. Tigers get 1 hit. They strand their 8th base runner of the game as we go bottom 5, Rainier 2, Taft 0, back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH. We're now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Columbians, they hold the lead 2-0 in part because they believe they're going to win this game. Tigers, the body language right now hasn't been what it's needed to be for these road games. You got to get up for them. During the 3A boys basketball state tournament, 8 teams qualified and made it there. As I did the video broadcast for that, I asked all the coaches and teams what their goals were for the season. Only one of the 8 teams had a goal of winning a state championship. Incidentally, it's the team that won a state championship. First pitch to Joey Tripp is a ball outside as he pops this one up in the infield. Fico calls for it and makes the catch against Joey Tripp for out number 1. So pop up to 3 for the first out as Blaze Kimbrough continues on the mound. But the bigger lesson there is belief is a very powerful drug. And if you don't believe that you can win something, then it's not going to happen. And for Taft, that's been kind of the way they've played in years past sometimes. When they believe they can do it, they can. And Kenny Tripp, he's going to pop this one up, this time to Cody Knott. So back-to-back pop-ups by the Tripp boys bring Jordan Kangas back to the plate. And Jordan Kangas, last time he was at the plate, he was hitting something hard to center field, right center, and it got past Tai, who tried to make the best run and dive attempt he could at it, as Kangas would come around to score after being driven in by Austin Cantrell. The very next play was back-to-back doubles by the Columbians, who have all 3 extra base hits today. Kangas has 1, Cantrell has 2, as he's down 0-1 on the foul pitch. Here, bottom 5 with 2 down. Curveball misses just high from Blaze. As Kangas looked back, he wasn't sure about the call. Another top 10 showdown as well between the softball teams. If I'm able to get a score of any of the softball games, we'll pass that along to you. That pitch is low. 2-1 count for Kangas, with Blaze Kimbrough, the senior left-hander, on the mound, throwing to the freshman Caden Heineman behind the plate. Pitch inside, ball 3. Got sophomore Fico Ramos at first, sophomore Ethan Thomas at second, junior Eli DeMello at third, senior Cody Knott at shortstop. This one hit into left field. Solid single there by Jordan Kangas, who is now 2 for 2 today with a walk, a double, and a single. So Cantrell will come to the plate for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2 in game 2. That had that RBI double. He's got 2 runs batted in on the day of the 6th. So Blaze will move to the stretch. Kangas takes off. This one's hit to center field, and this one will be an easy can of corn for Ty Fisher out in center as he makes the catch on the fly ball, out number 3. Columbians, they get 1 hit. They leave Jordan Kangas stranded at second. We go top 6. We're down to our final 2 innings unless the Tigers can start to put some runs on the board. Back in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where we're in the top of the 6th inning, and Taft Tigers are still looking for their first run of the game, as it's
Been a great performance on the hill by Rainier at home. First from Logan Kaiser and second from Braden Markham as sophomore left fielder Darius Smith at the plate takes a ball from the left-hander Markham on the mound. That's first pitch, or second pitch outside, ball 2 now for Darius, who reached via an error from the left fielder Robb in the second and then flew out to Bulch in the fourth. As he's got his first hit of the day, this one a solid single, similar to the one that Kangas just had in his last at-bat. So now the fourth hit of the day for the Tigers. It's their 8th base runner. As they've been unable to make them count, Fico Ramos will come to the plate, sophomore first baseman. So a good start for the Tigers. A bit of sunshine perhaps peeking out, coming down. Maybe that's what the Tigers need right here. A little light to shine down on them as Fico called ball, was low in the zone, or called strike that was low in the zone. On deck, Caden Heineman. Caden's got a hit in his last at-bat. Bunt shown by Fico. Curveball was thrown, and I think that got a missing part of the leg on Preston Setzer where the shin guard isn't. As Coach Carnes comes out to talk with his catcher. As Tai hands that foul ball back to the plate ump. So it's Darius at first. As they've got an 0-2 count now for Fico at the plate. As he did go for the foul for the bunt attempt, and it was fouled. 0-2, he shows it again, drops it down in the grass. It's a good one. Markham, unable to collect, slips, throws to first, not in time. Oh, for Braden Markham, that one hurts. For Fico Ramos, by any means necessary, are you supposed to get on base? And, well, the guy just slipped. You can't fault him for that, so I call it back-to-back singles now for the Tigers. As that will bring up Caden Heineman to the plate. He had a single his last attempt. No outs. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Pitch is called strike. Ethan Thomas on deck. As bottom of the lineup, they were able to get 2 on for top of the lineup. He wasn't able to bring it through. He's going to drop this one down for a bunt. It's foul. It's played by Markham. And for Taft, dropping bunts, you pretty much need to get it into the grass if you want the bunt to be successful, as you're going to have that nice little sidewalk curb, if you will, along the grass and fair territory and the grass and foul territory with the dirt base pass. So, got an 0-2 count now for Heineman, who shows it, drops it back, and he gets caught looking. Curveball was there, and, well, for Coach Hilgers, when he gets 2 strikes, he's not afraid to have his guys bunt, but there's now 1 down as Caden went to pull that one back, and either way, it was a strike. He needed to leave it there and at least try and play it. So Markham throwing from the stretch. He's going to step off as he looks at Darius, unabated at second base, left alone as Kenny Tripp playing hard in the gap with Cantrell showing at first. Swinging from Ethan, it gets away from Setzer, and the runners advance a base. So Darius now at third, Fico at second. It's a, you call strike on that? I think you're right that Ethan took a swing at that. So I've got it as an 0-1 count for Ethan Thomas at the plate, but now he's got 2 runners in scoring position. And Darius at second, Darius at third, Fico second, and he gets the outside corner as he hasn't given Blaze Kimbrough the outside corner. Braden Markham knows precisely where this plate ump's outside corner is. Here's the 0-2, swung on, got a piece of it, foul. So 2-0 game here, top of the 6th inning for the Tigers. They've got 1 out. Trenton Fisher, leadoff man, is on deck. Ethan Thomas, love to have a 2 RBI single here if he can hit something hard that gets down. So The 0-2, sophomore versus sophomore. Lefty on the hill, righty at the plate, swung and fouled again as Thomas, anything close right now, he's swinging at to keep alive. So I'll try it again as Ethan got a walk earlier in this game with a ground out, hitting just below the Mendoza line on the year. Gets a piece of it, goes to Kenny Tripp at second. He looks at home and lets Darius come as the only play possible is to go to first. So it's an RBI sacrifice for 4-3 for Ethan Thomas that scores the first run of the game for the Tigers. Darius Smith, Fico, moves up to third base on the play. And now Trenton Fisher will come to the plate, trying to tie the game by bringing home Fico from third with 2 out. He starts off swinging against the curveball. Strike 1. So just a 1-run game now as Tigers get their first against Kaiser. And he goes right back to Kaiser. It's off the glove. Here's the throw to first in time for the final out. The Tigers, they get 1 hit, they leave 1 on base, and they get 1 run here. As we go bottom of the 6th, the Tigers trail the Columbians now by a score of 2-1 back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400, where we've got a pitching change as Trenton Fisher will come into the game for Blaze Kimbrough. So as we add up Blaze's numbers on the day, he did go 5 innings pitched today with 3 strikeouts. Just gave up 2 runs. As Tigers, it's been about the hitting here today, as they scored 2 runs in the first game. They've scored 1. They've cut the lead in half now, as Jaden Robb, the left-hander, will come to the plate. So Blaze, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, with 4 hits given up today. So Trenton starts off to Robb with pitch outside for a ball to Jaden Robb. 2-1 game here, bottom 6th, as this is the rubber match of the series. Each team will play 3 times in league play, as Tigers are going to finish out all their games on the road the rest of the season. 2-0 count to Jaden Robb, with Trenton Fisher in relief for the starter, Blaze Kimbrough. That pitch gets called on the outside corner, strike 1 from the righty, Trenton Fisher. So Fish, he pitched in the 6th inning of the last game after Eli went 5. This one hit up the middle. Will it get down? It does. Ty unable to get to that one for Jaden Robb. It is his first hit of the game, as he's 1 for 3 now. And that will be the 5th hit of the day for the Columbians here in game number 2. It brings Logan Kaiser, the right fielder, to the plate. Kaiser, as we mentioned, was starting pitcher in game number 1, where he went 7 innings on the hill. He gave up 1 hit. He goes with a bunt, and this one is foul, as Robb had taken off down towards second base. He's going to have to head on back. Tigers, they've got another tough game coming up on Tuesday at league-leading Warrenton, who lost on Wednesday to Austin Cantrell and the Rainier Columbians. Right now, 4-2 in league. Tigers are 5-3. Still chance, though. Just a one-run game here late. This one hit in the wrist, or on the wrist, as Ethan makes the catch and Rob gets caught on the base pass. I think a hit and run must have been called, and they get him doubled up as it goes pop up 4-3, double play for the Tigers. So Tyler Nelson now will come to the plate, and for Taft, it takes a potential extra run off the base paths. As Taft is down to their final 3 outs here, they need to plate one in the top of the 7th to have a chance at this. Of course, they can plate 2. On the bottom 7th comes a different story. That one's hit foul as Fico catches it in foul territory, as Tyler Nelson has a hit in each game so far today. He's 0-1 right now. Righty versus righty at the plate. Junior on the hill, senior at the plate. There's a pitch from Trenton. This one hit high into center field. There, Cody, he'll take it on the shallow outfield grass for another pop-up, P6, as Tigers double play. And then the pop-up gets him out of the inning as they give up 1 hit. But he's left as he gets thrown out on the base pass. We go to the final inning of play. If the Tigers can't score a run here, top 7, we're going to be heading home here. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Taft Tigers radio network. So here on AM 1400 KBCH, we're in the top of the 7th inning of a 2-1 ball game where Joey Tripp, the senior shortstop, will come in to pitch in relief. As I check out the adjustments defensively, it appears that Logan Kaiser will come in from right field to play first base. So it's set up. Joey Tripp is pitching, throwing to Preston Setzer, with Logan Kaiser at first base. Jordan Kangas, who is at third, is now at second base. Austin Cantrell, who is at first, is now at third. And Kenny Tripp, who is at second, is now at shortstop. Hunter Bolch is still in center field. I believe Jaden Robb is still in left field. And then Tanner Chapman is in right field. So that's how the defense is set up for the Tigers here in the top of the 7th, with Eli DeMello at the plate going up against Joey Tripp. As the quarterback and linebacker starts off with a hard curveball in relief. And he gets it in for a strike to Eli. The Tigers bench trying to make a little bit of noise as check swing. As did he go? They say he did not. So 1-1 count as that one reached all the way back to the fence. Cody, not on deck, picks it up for Taft. As we said, it's a 2-1 game. This is the final inning of play unless they can tie this one up. If they take the lead, then things change in the bottom of the 7th. Taft will play for a win. This one off the glove of Joey Tripp. Jordan Kangas in the hole at second, tries to flip. It's not there. Eli, good play by Preston Setzer at catcher, running behind Eli because that flip got away from Logan Kaiser at first base, and that will go down as a single as it came off the glove of Tripp. as that's just a hard hit ball. So Tigers get the tying run on the base pass with Cody Knott now at the plate, as I would hope Coach Hilgers does not have Cody bunt here. This is a guy I want hitting in this situation. Eli takes a lead, not a big one, as Tripp throwing from the stretch right now. There's the secondary. Cody does bunt. He drops it down the third base line. Cantrell scoops, throws. It's offline. Cody's going to get second. Eli, he's rounding third. Eli's going to score on the play, and Trenton, Cody, I'm getting their names so confused, ends up at third. And the game is tied at 2 in the top of the 7th with nobody out, following a bunt after I just said I hope Coach Hilgers doesn't have Cody bunt. He bunts. Cantrell, his throw to Kaiser at first is offline. It went way into right field where Chapman had to go after it, and that allowed Eli DeMello to score all the way from first base on the play, and for Cody Knott to go from home plate to third on a bunt. So Ty Fisher can now give the Tigers the lead with a fly ball that could score Cody from third. He's check swing. That pitch is outside, and they say no, he didn't go. So an RBI bunt is how that'll go down in my book for Cody Knott, as Eli, that's why you get those players on base, make things happen. We're tied at 2, top of the 7th, Joey Tripp on the mound. That one gets away, and Preston Setzer comes up out of the stance. There is space. I would say it's very similar depth to what Taft has. If it slowly gets to the cage, you've got plenty of time. If it gets to the cage in a hurry, it could bounce back to you. 2-0 count for Ty at the plate with Cody at third. Tripp from the stretch. This one swung. No, didn't swing. As hits the outside corner. Ty had started the arm action and then laid off. A 2-1 count at the plate. Cody with great speed on the bases. Curveball. This one's hit into right center field. This has got a chance. It's over Bulch's head. It'll score Cody Knott. Ty turns for 2. Will he dig for 3? He's going for 3. As here the relay throw from Tripp will not. No, it is made, but it is not in time. An RBI triple from the big unit has given the Tigers their first lead of the day today, scoring Cody Knott from third base. And now the bottom of the 7th has become a totally different situation for the Tigers. They're now playing for the win here with Blaze Kimbrough at the plate, trying to bring Ty home from third now and extend the lead by 1 for the Tigers. As Kimbrough, first pitch swinging, fouls this one off into the cage. As the Tigers try and take the rubber match and win the series against the Columbians here late. It will be the 8-9-1 hitters for the Columbians in the bottom of the 7th. As Tripp from the stretch. Curveball hit by Blaze into right field. This is a scoring tie. It's now a 4-2 Tiger lead. On the RBI single from Blaze Kimbrough, his 15th run batted in of the season, and the Tigers are now on top of the Columbians. 4-2 with Darius Smith coming to the plate. They've got a single, a triple, and a single, and there are still no outs for the Tigers. If they've brought the first 4 to the plate, they've all got on base. The first 3 have scored. That pitch is low to Darius for ball 1. As Trenton, he and Cody are throwing together right now. We'll see perhaps if Cody, if he's just juiced up, as he has thrown in relief, but I imagine Coach Hilgers elects to keep Trenton on. As bunt shown by Darius, pulls it back, ball is called at the plate, 2-0 count for Darius. But an amazing comeback here. This is why we play a full game. And of course, Tigers weren't down by a lot. It was just a 2-1 margin. They scored 1 in the 6th, though, after being down 2-0. They've scored 3 so far here in the 7th. as these two teams have been playing tough baseball games the last several years against one another. Blaze at first. Not a big lead for Blaze. Darius, a big cut. That's strike one. 2-1 count now at the plate. Still nobody out here in the top of the 7th for the Tigers. As they hold the 2-run lead, Trenton Fisher right now would be the winning pitcher of record. Tripp from the stretch. He steps off. Blaze will head back to first. As Coach Carnes, he might be kicking himself now, having taken out Braden Markham. As the Tigers, they've got 4 hits in the game so far. As they only had 4 against him before. As Darius shows bunt, that one is fouled behind Setzer at the plate. As Markham only gave up 4 hits today. The Tigers have 4 hits here in the 7th. Of course, putting the bat on the ball and having it find space is typically a good way of playing baseball and scoring runs. As they look to come up here with the win, as that pitch is outside, ball 3 from Tripp to Darius at the plate. Darius reached by an error, then he flew out in the 4th. In the 6th, he had a single, scored the game's first run for Taft. Now he's looking to make it another RBI for the Tigers here. As this one popped up, and it's out of play as he keeps it alive, though. So it remains a full count for Darius at the plate with Joey Tripp on the mound as Blaze over at first base with Logan Kaiser playing the bag. The Tigers dugout a lot more raucous here now that they have the lead. As Darius on top of it, but he fouls it back. Fico will go pick it up. And for Taft, something they're going to have to start remembering on these road games, that you got to bring that energy early. But when they needed it the most, they've been able to rise to the occasion here late. This one's not over yet, though, as Darius swings and misses for the first out of the inning. Strikeout for Joey Tripp will bring the first baseman, Fico Ramos, to the plate now. So Fico, 2 strikeouts and a single today. He ended up at third back in the 6th inning. That was as far as he made it. And first pitch swinging, that one's off the cage, foul ball. On deck, the catcher, Caden Heinman. So, Coach Hilgers, that ball got away from the catcher as Setzer hands that one to the official, or the umpire. And no concern on a dry day here. We've been playing some wet games, and the concern as always is this baseball weighing 5 ounces or not. That's always the danger in the wet weather games. Is 0-1 count. Comes an 0-2 count. Good hook from Tripp at the plate to Ramos, who's staring 0-2. Tigers, they got Blaze Kimbrough at first. He drove in Tye Fisher to give Taft a 4-2 lead. That curveball misses outside, though with an 0-2 count. Not really a spot you have a problem with your pitcher missing at. As the wind swirling around here, that's been the forecast all day, that it'd be clear and dry, but might get some wind gusts. Curveball again, and Fico gets a piece of it, this time along the third base dugout side. So we'll try it again. As Tigers want to win the series here, get the split today. That would send Taft to 6-3 overall. It'd send Rainier to 4-3 in league play. They've still got games to make up. They're going to have a doubleheader against Warrenton midweek from the schedule. Pitch from Tripp is high for ball 2 to Fico at the plate. As Fico was one of several 400-plus hitters coming in league play for the Tigers, but the Columbians pitchers today have really done their work against Taft, but they've had their work late as this one's hit hard into the gap in right center. It's dropping. Fico's got 2 at least on this as he's going to try and chase Blaze down, who ends up at third on the play for a stand-up double from fabulous Fico Ramos. As the sophomores now put 2 in scoring position for the freshman Caden Hindman now at the plate. There's just one out. Coach Carnes might be making a substitution here, as the Tigers now have their 5th hit of the inning, their 9th hit of the game. With one out, and Caden Hindman at the plate, Coach Carnes will come out to talk to his senior shortstop and pitcher. As the senior came on in relief of the sophomore left-hander, Braden Markham, who had gone 6 innings. He had only given up the 1 run on 4 hits. And sometimes it's a pitch count. I felt like Braden's pitch count was pretty low. Coach Carnes is going to have Joey continue here in this situation, as it's been a long week of baseball for Rainier. Perhaps it's starting to catch up to them. This is their 4th game over the last 4 days. They played Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a doubleheader today, as Lucas Hindman will go run for Blaze Kimbrough. Now, it is possible, I believe there is re-entry for pitchers, not just at position player. It's potentially possible for Blaze here, but either way, whether it's a courtesy runner or a pinch runner is kind of irrelevant. Lucas Hyman's at third right now. That pitch gets away from Setzer at the plate. Lucas is going to come in and score on the wild pitch. So Coach Hilgers must have known exactly what was going to happen there already this inning. I said, nah, you can't bunt Cody. He bunted Cody, and it scored Eli from first. I say, nah, can't bring in Lucas. Then he goes and he scores a run. So the Tigers are now up 5-2. The first 4 batters have all gotten a hit, and they've all eventually come around to score. Fico's now at third, and that pitch gets away from Tripp. It's a 1-1 count at the plate to Caden Hindman. And a 5-2 game here. Tigers now will go to the bottom of the 7th, trying to close out the game for the win against the 8-9-1 hitters. Caden hits this one hard to Kenny. He comes forward. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's not a forced out. It's a tag, and the fielder's choice. Caden is safe at first. Fico's safe at the plate, and Caden will head all the way to second. As the freshman Kenny Tripp there, I thought typically you're going to see a player go to first base, concede the run in that situation, as Preston Setzer, it was not a force out. It had to have gotten there sooner for him to try and make the tag. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Caden at the plate, and they'll bring Trenton Hall on as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Ethan Thomas now comes to the plate, and he is the 8th man to the plate this inning. As I'm still a run behind on my video cast right now, as a ball thrown to Ethan. It's a 6-2 lead for the Tigers. As another ball thrown to Ethan, 2-0 count to the second baseman, with Taft leading 6-2. As at first they were afraid, they were simply petrified. And then they've scored 5 here in the 7th, thinking they could never live without runs on their side. They have definitely survived here. Can they continue, though? Still just 1 out. Tigers, keep scoring as many as you can, frankly, at this point, because Rainier is going to come to the bottom of the 7th, knowing they got work to do. First called strike to Ethan Thomas at the plate, down the middle from Joey Tripp. On deck, leadoff man Trenton Fisher. As that Tiger dugout, their mood has changed dramatically as he puts this one over Jordan Kangas' head at second base. As Trenton Hall, he's on his donkey, moving around third and getting the jersey dirty with the slide across home plate for the 6th run of the inning, the 7th of the game now for the Taft Tigers. On the RBI single from the sophomore Ethan Thomas, his 2nd RBI of the day, scores courtesy runner Trenton Hall, and it brings Trenton Fisher now to the mound, or to the plate, and we are going to have a substitution on the hill for Joey Tripp, who his relief appearance was not what Coach Carnes and Joey wanted. We'll take a 60-second break as Jordan Kangas warms up on the mound here on your Taft Tigers radio network. So, after the pitching substitution, Jordan Kangas moves from, he started at third today, moved to second to start the inning. He is now on the hill, as looks like it will be a simple 4-for-1 substitution. So I think Kenny Tripp is going to remain at shortstop with Joey Tripp at second base. So just second baseman for the pitcher as Jordan Kangas, the right-hander, throwing on the mound. So one down, so only a third inning pitched for Joey Tripp there in the top of the seventh. Tigers, they have Ethan Thomas at first base. They've plated 6 runs this inning. Trenton Fisher is now at the plate with Kangas on the mound, throwing to Preston Setzer. First pitch swinging, popped up over the cage and over the Tiger fans and parents who made the trip, as lots of blankets are out there in the bleachers right now. They've been out there all game long as the sun has been out, but it's been a windy game, which has kept the temperatures down here. 0-1 count to Trenton, and that pitch is high from Kangas. That one missed, as Taft, they had the advantage of having a fresher bullpen, but Kaiser was excellent in the first game. Markham was excellent through 6, but here in the 7th, the Tigers have finally gotten to the Rainier pitchers. A 1-1 count for Trenton. That pitch is high. They're going to try and catch a sleeping Ethan Thomas. Throw back to Kaiser is not in time to get Ethan at first. So I've still got it. I think it's a 2-1 count. I think. As we're up here at the Rainier press box. This one hit to Kenny Tripp at second. Got a chance for the double play. He's got the second. Here's the relay throw from Joey. Not in time to get Trenton on the fielder's choice. 6-4-3 ground out. So Trenton will be at first. 2 down now here for Eli DeMello, as Eli was the man who led the inning off with a single. And he was on first base when the man on deck, Cody Knott, when I guess I'm going to be the fool today if you're saying, oh, you can't bunt Cody. He's one of your best hitters. And Coach Hildress did that, and it got Eli to score. He pops this one up. Shallow center fielder. Bulch comes in and makes the catch, as Kenny Tripp got out of the way the last moment. So I hope that means that Hunter Bulch said, this is mine, because we already saw one collision in right center field. For the Tigers, they end up leaving 1 on base, but they scored 6 in the top of the 7th off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in the inning. They go bottom 7, leading the Columbians now 7-2, back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. That's my 4th year for 12. So we're here in the bottom of the 7th inning after the Tigers rallied for 6 runs, down 2-1 to start the 7th. They now lead the bottom of the 7th by a score of 7-2. It's the 8-9-1 batters for the Columbians. It'll be Hunter Bulch, the center fielder, followed by Preston Setzer. No, it won't be Preston Setzer. It'll be a designated hitter there. I can already tell you that, number 30. As he starts off with a hard hit to Fico, it gets up over his head, and there's the playing on a grass field with the bounce and variation of the play. As that one just unable to be fielded cleanly by Fico. It'll go down as an E5 to get Hunter Bulch on the bases here to start. They've got to get 5 to send this one into the 8th inning, as number 30 is Kevin Borsaw. So Kevin Borsaw at the plate for his first appearance now. Looks at a ball outside. So Borsaw, the pinch hitter, in with a 1-0 count from Trenton, and that one misses outside, 2-0 count. So not what the Tigers want to see to start, but 2-0 count with Bulch at first base. Trenton, throwing from the stretch right now. That pitch misses outside. So we did see Cody throwing with Trenton, perhaps a play there. Now with Trenton here, we did see a switch as Blaze is at first base and Fico is at third base. That pitch is a 4-pitch walk. So runners on first and second for the Columbians, and now they're back at the top of the lineup with Joey Tripp. So the 8-9 guys did precisely what they needed to do for the Columbians, and that's get on. Coach Hilgers is going to come out to talk to his pitcher here, Trenton Fisher, as the 7th inning now all of a sudden is full of tension and excitement. As the Tigers, they scored 6 in the top of the 7th, and now they've given up an error and a 4-pitch walk. So, Joey Tripp, who in this second game today is 0 for 3 today. He's got a fly out to Trenton in right field, a fielder's choice ground out, and a pop-up to Fico. As Tigers, they play back at second with the base runner. That pitch is outside for a ball. So 1-0 count at the plate. And curveball comes in for first strike for Joey Tripp, as Trenton needed that one. After throwing 5 straight balls, you got to get a strike in there. The 1-1 from Trenton misses high. Not a bad spot for Trenton to miss, but it is a 2-1 count here for Joey Tripp, and Tigers, they need outs. They don't want to see base runners. That one looked good. This is inside, 3-1. As Joey Tripp in on the plate. He steps out, takes a swing, steps back in. Here's the 3-1 count. And he gets him looking for strike 2. Big situation right here for Little Fish. Ground ball up the middle for the Tigers would be nice. They'd like to turn 2. Tripp's got good speed in the batter's box. Doesn't need to use it as that one misses outside. So back-to-back walks have now loaded the bases for the Rainier Columbians. Down 5 It's the man on deck, Jordan Kangas, who if everyone were to come around, he still represents the tying run. So Kenny Tripp now at the plate, bases loaded. He just, for the infield, it's make the play, easiest play possible at this point. If you can go home, then do it because it's the force out. But right now, you'll trade 1 run for 1 out. You'll win 7-5. Well, you'll win 7-4. You can't trade a winning out. This one is popped up in playable territory. Caden unable to make the catch, though, as I think Trenton has to call Caden off on that. It was tough to play, but the catcher's glove is always the more difficult of the two. It is a foul ball on the play, so it's an 0-2 count now for Kenny Tripp. And for Trenton, at least he's in a good spot as a pitcher, 0-2. See if he can get Kenny at the plate himself. Comes inside, hard hit ball to third and foul. As Fico played it in foul territory, but by that point it had already hit. Have to play it in front of the bag. So, remains an 0-2 count here, bottom 7. 7-2 lead for the Tigers. This one's hit up the middle, and this will get down as Tai gets out to it. It gets past him. That scores 1. Here comes Borsa. Here comes Joey Tripp, and it's a 3-run double by Kenny Tripp to make this a 7-5 ball game. Here in the bottom of the 7th, this game is far from over as Jordan Kangas, who's been hammering balls to that same spot, that's the 3rd double hit to that spot by Tigers, and this will be the end for Trenton Fisher as Cody Knott comes to the hill in relief here to try and close this one out for the Tigers. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Cody Knott will throw from the stretch here on AM 1400 KBCH. And first pitch inside to Jordan Kangas, who represents the tying run at the plate now with Kenny Tripp. The bases clearing double, 3-run double for him. And Kangas puts it in the same spot. This one, though, Trenton gets to it quickly. Tripp's going to turn at third. He will score. And it's an RBI single for Jordan Kangas, and just like that, it is a 1-run game with Austin Cantrell, a man with home run power already today. If he lifts one, it'll be a walk-off, and it would be a deflating way for the Taft Tigers to drive 3.5 hours back home. For Austin Cantrell, it would cap off a great week for the Rainier Columbians, who are down by a score of 7-6, and that throw gets away from Blaze. Kangas is going to stay there, though. As assistant coach Tripp in the first base box says, listen, you are the tying run right now. We can't have you out on the base paths. It's a 0-0 count to Cantrell at the plate with Kangas at first. Kangas takes off. It's hit up the middle to Ty Fisher. As Kangas now has to run back to first, Ty's going to try and throw him out. The throw is offline. Cody does a great job coming from the hill and then backing up the throw as it got away from the base pass. But for the Tigers, Austin Cantrell tried to hammer one, and it's the first out of the inning. And now Jaden Robb will come to the plate with one down, as he is the winning run. The tying run is at first base. So Jaden Robb with a single, a strikeout, and a ground out today. He's 1 for 3. And he takes a ball from Cody. As the Columbians, they've scored 4 runs here in the 7th. The Tigers scored 7. If that's how it stays, the Tigers win. Called strike outside corner to Robb, the lefty, the only lefty in the lineup. As Cody, the senior, the righty. As I see the girls softball team. This one hit up the middle. Cody throws to Eli at second for the lead man. Here's the double. As it off nowhere. The throw took Blaze off the bag. So they get the fielder's choice. 1-6 ground out. 2 down for Logan Kaiser. And it is a fielder's choice. So Jaden Robb is safe at first base on the play with Logan Kaiser, but there's now 2 outs. For the Tigers, it's just make the easiest play possible after getting the leadoff runner. Kaiser takes a breath before stepping into the box, the right-hander. Got the win in the first game. First pitch swinging. This one hit to Trent Fisher. Steps forward, makes the catch, and seals the win for the Taft Tigers, who go to 10-9 on the season, 6-3 in league play for the Rainier Columbians. They go to 4-3 in league play on the season, and they go to 8-6 overall. We will take a 2-minute break and get back with a post-game recap for you here as the Tigers come back in the 7th, and they withstand the rally from the Rainier Columbians to win the series overall here. Taft wins the second of 2, 7-6. We'll be back in 2 minutes on your Tigers Radio Network. Hey, split a softball? Softball split too? Do you know the scores? Which one did you win? 5-0? Good job.